Hello everyone, welcome back to Age of Nagash, which is a channel dedicated to Age of Sigmar. So I'm sure you guys already know of the news that's being released today, that there is going to be a second edition of Age of Sigmar coming out in June. I'm really excited about this, and there's loads of news coming flicking fast throughout the day, so at the time of me making this video I probably don't know all the news that's going to come out today, but I just wanted to get a video out to you guys as quick as I could. And as this is Age of Nagash, this video, my first one on Age of Sigmar, second edition, is going to be talking about the Nighthaunt. I know there's loads of other stuff going on. There's new Stormcast Chamber, released because everyone, I'm sure, is really excited and really surprised about that. There's also new rules coming in, like you can't shoot out of combat, things like that. Magic's going to play a bigger part. There's going to be, like I say, new rules and I think more in-depth rules as well. And the stories and the narrative is going to play a bigger part in this new edition from what it looks like. But like I say, I do want to start off with talking about the Nighthaunt, and to start off with that, we're going to go in with the first bit of news, which is the information I told you guys. I was told by Games Workshop staff of a new box set coming out for Age of Sigmar. Is more than likely confirmed. I don't know if they've actually confirmed it yet on Warhammer Community because I haven't had time to scroll through everything. But from this artwork alone, it looks like there is going to be a new box set coming out for Age of Sigmar, and it will be Death versus Stormcast. Like I said, I talked about this more in a previous video. The information is a little bit outdated, but it was like from a little strap of it basically just came down to, in the store, in my local store, like some scenery was painted in a certain way for it to be on display in a sort of like a death sort of theme, and from that little stem alone, it came up with the idea that there was going to be a new box set for Death coming out, which would be like the main Age of Sigmar box set, and it looks like that is going to be the case. So it's nice to be correct on that, and it's nice to sort of put that idea out quite early on, so hopefully you guys are excited that that's true as well. So yeah, we're going to start with that just to kick off the news of Nighthaunt and stuff coming out, and then I'm going to show you some pictures that will be coming up on your screen in a few seconds of the video for the Nighthaunt release. And I'm sure you guys have seen that video of the Nighthaunt release. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Even gave me a little like chill down my spine. I think the narrating in it was great, and it really sort of made you get excited by Death and Nighthaunt particularly. I think they've done a really nice spin on it. And what I noticed in this video is it looks like there'll be 3 units that aren't like heroes or anything, and from what I could gather from the video, I might be completely wrong about this, this is just what from my experience and what this looks like it's going to be, is like I say, 3 new units. So that's going to be like the Tomb Banshee type of unit you can see on the screen now, which is probably going to be like a unit of like minimum size, like 5 models, something like that. I don't know, like elite infantry, something like that. You've also got like the animal sort of wraith creatures, which you can see on the screen now again, which very much look like Calm Race, but like I say, more animalistic. They've got like horses' heads, like hunchbacks, that sort of thing. You've also on your screen now, you've got like a new cavalry unit that looks like it could be a step up from Hex Race, like Hex Knights or something. And then you've got the sort of ghosts, sort of typical ghosts you can see like in chains and locks and all that sort of thing, and swords, and look like very much like infantry. So including the cavalry there as well, there's like 4 new like units going to be included. And then I noticed, I think there's going to be at least like 3 new heroes. Of course you can see this like Knight of Shrouds on his mount, which looks like to be the very sort of centerpiece of this new expansion. Maybe not the centerpiece, but the leader of it at least. You've got this other hero who has the lantern, which again I don't know what he does, but I imagine he's going to be supportive. Maybe he drains the souls of the enemy and heals your own Nighthaunt from their their soul power almost. And again, there's just some more pictures here of the like I said, the typical sort of ghosts with the weapons and all that sort of thing, which I imagine are going to be the battle line of this army. They look like they're going to be the sort of weakest type, and they're probably not going to be weak. I don't mean it in a bad way, but they're probably going to be the most basic stat line sort of guys. But if they've got the ethereal keyword, I know that doesn't mean they get cover saves anymore. You can't put Mystic Shield on them. But if your basic infantry doesn't take any rend, that's really good. And then again we go back to the Knight of Shroud on, I want to call it a skeletal steed, but I feel like that name doesn't do this gorgeous beast any justice. And I don't know how good this guy's going to be. He almost reminds me of like a Lord's Hesitant on Dracov. Hopefully he's going to have the same sort of power in the stat line. That would be awesome. Hopefully he's not going to be a bit weak and a bit meh, like the White King, for example. Hopefully he will be really nice and powerful, and like what they call the High King of the Deep or something like that for the Indenef Deepian, something like that sort of power stat line. Now on this we have another hero. I don't know if it is going to be a hero, but his posture looks quite different from everything else. I imagine it will be. I don't know, it may be quite combat orientated because the weapons look pretty nasty there. And then again we have another picture here of just like a Wraith Ghost, and I think this is going to be part of the new Black Coach model we have got coming in. So yeah, not too much to say about that one. And then moving on to another picture, like I say, what are going to be like these Hex Knights, something like that. Or, like I say, I haven't looked so much at these pictures yet. These are just like my first impressions. These Hex Knights might just be part of this Black Coach model you can see right now. They might not be a separate unit, they might just be part of this model and they're just so different angles of it. But yeah, I mean, that's the nicest Black Coach I've ever seen. And like I say, the Black Coach it's Water Scroll, it's shite. So hopefully this is going to be a big step up, and I think it's going to be a much more supportive piece on the battlefield. It's going to be like a behemoth, it's going to be a big model, it's going to have a big presence, and hopefully it's going to add a lot more to the game, and I really think it will. And then this bit I found quite interesting in this photo, because they said this is when the woman who was doing the narrating talked about the god of death, and obviously that is Nagash. And when I first saw this, image, and it went past quite quickly, I thought, yeah, it's just a shadow of Nagash. But actually, looking at it again, I don't think it is Nagash. It doesn't look like him. And like I said, the narrator at this point was talking about, the god of death. And I'm not saying there's going to be a new god of death coming up, because that's not going to happen. There were things like Moore, who used to be the god of death in the old world and all that, but put all that sort of thoughts aside. This looks like it's just going to be a behemoth, a monster of some sort. I might be wrong, it might just be a collection of trees that are in front of Nagash or something like that, and it's obscuring my view, and the shadow just blends it all into one to make up a made up shape. But I do believe it might be a big, nasty, a monster sort of creature that we are going to see. As again, they did it a bit more in your face, but when they did the Daughters of Cain, they did do a little tease with the Marathi model, so that's something we could see there. Now, moving on again, you see a better picture of the Knight of Shrouds on his skeletal mount, and the army of Nighthaunt, which by now you've seen quite a few, like in-depth pictures. I'm sure you guys looked at the one in the community, but it's quite nice to see it in that sort of lighting, the sort of dim shade, and to be honest, the models sort of blend into the board behind them. It really gives that nice sort of ghost effect. And then at the end of the video, we had the lovely confirmed announcement of Death Battle Tome Nighthaunt coming out, and it will come out in June, 2018. Doesn't sound important that 2018 is at the end of it, but it kind of is, because when they announced that Plastic Sisters of Battles were coming out, they said 2019. So it's just nice to know that it's coming out, within a month rather than within 13 months. So that is very nice to see. And June. What are we now? We obviously, depending on the time you're watching this, but I think on the day of recording, what are we? 18 days away from June, 19 days, something like that. So yeah, not too long to wait at all. So of course I'm really excited about it. And yeah, we've got our death models, guys. We haven't just got the Knight of Shroud and then the Serpical Guard, were they from the Shade Spire, that sort of you don't really see them in Age of Sigmar very much, unless you want to use them as normal skeletons, that sort of thing. And that, you know, to be honest, was a little bit of a worry that we thought we're just going to get those basically 2 units and it's not going to be anything more for death. You know, Games Workshop feel like they did their bit. And then we saw the tease of the black coach, and I hesitated there to call it a black coach because back then we didn't know it was going to be one, but it was the closest thing we could link it to, and from the pictures that you guys have seen by now and that I've seen, it is going to be a black coach. I don't know if it's going to be called a black coach, but it just looks like a black coach on steroids basically. So like I said, hopefully that adds so much more to the game. Again, just really nice to see some death models come out, and you know, finally as well, I know like we had like some stuff and we had the Leaders of the Gash book, which you know has done huge amounts to death armies and has really made them that much more competitive. There's some things in there that are really nasty, not nice to fight against yourself, to be honest, and yeah, it's really good, and it'll be interesting to see if these new models you're getting in this Nighthaunt army, if you can use those units in the Legions and the Gash army, because they're not in the Legions and the Gash battle tome. And you know, if you can't use the Legions and the Gash army, it's not the end of the world, because I'm sure you're going to want to use them in the Nighthaunt army anyway, because the Allegiance abilities are probably really going to be spot on for them. And also, which is nice about this Nighthaunt release from the pictures that we can see, is that it's not just a couple of units they're getting quite a lot of things. I mean, like I said, I counted, you know, like 3 units from what I could, you know, guess basically. Potentially a 4th one if there are things like Hex Knights, which there might not be, but from like a picture of the, you know, battle tome, you can see it on your screens at the moment behind the main Wraith, just to the right of him, like in the distance, you can see what I like to call these Hex Knights. Doesn't look like he's attached to a black coach or anything, so that does give me some hope that's going to be a new unit as well. Might not be, but you know, if it is, that's 4 new units. I think I counted like 3 new heroes, you know, just from guessing, just by looking at it. A absolutely awesome, you know, like I say, black coach on steroids. I doubt that's going to be its War Scroll name, but you know, that's what I'm going to be calling it now. And the other thing, like I said, looks like there might be a behemoth coming. It was just like all I'm basing that on, a new behemoth coming, is literally a shaded model in the distance behind things like trees and all that, and it was just black, and it might be Nagash with things in front of him, but to me it looked like it was going to be a model we haven't seen before, a model for Nighthaunt, a monster for Nighthaunt that's not a Mongol, which we'll be really excited if, you know, if that is true. And like I say, small chance of it being true because I haven't really seen any evidence, but I based my idea of there being a new box set for, you know, Age of Sigmar on a tiny little bit of evidence, and that turned out to be pretty much guaranteed. So including that last, you know, maybe a monster, there's going to be, what's that say, 4 units at the most, 3 heroes from what I can gather, and this, you know, the black coach on steroids and this behemoth. So what's that, 7, 8, it looks like there could be up to 9 new units coming out, which I'm really excited for. I just had to pause recording this because I've just been sent some photos from a mate which have more detailed on the units coming out. So the first one, as you can see here, is actually a unit of 20 of these models. So it looks like you're going to buy them in boxes of 20. They're going to be, you know, your basic battle line unit for the Nighthaunt. I say basic, they're probably going to be pretty tough. And like I say, I don't know if they are going to be battle line unit, but it's pretty much as clear as day. It looks like they are going to be. We then move on to the sort of one of my favourite looking models from this new release, which look a little bit like a kit bash to me, but I still like them because I think they look very fresh, and of course you can see them on the screens now, and they are sort of animal, sort of Khan race, sort of sadistic, sort of quite cruel looking, and very quite evil. And they show us 5 in this photo, so it looks like they are going to come in units of 5. There's no obviously guarantee on this, and this is my first impressions, but that looks like how it's set out. And then we have, which looks like to me, the alternative build for these guys. I could be wrong, but these are the more traditional sort of Khan race sort of models, but they're going to be in a unit from the looks of this photo. And I would say that like they could be the dual kit of these more sort of animal race, but they only show 4 models in this photo, so it could just be 4 in this unit. And if there's only 4 in that unit, I doubt they're going to be the same kit, but they might have only just shown 4 in the photo, but you get 5. I might just be looking too much into it. And then moving on to the heroes they've shown in these better photos. Well, I say better heroes, you know, just more clear ones. We've got, which looks like he's going to be some sort of executioner, judging by the size of his huge fuck-off axe, his mask he's wearing, and the sort of, you know, hangman noose he's got on his back. So first thoughts on this guy, I really like his model. Game-wise, he looks like he's going to be, you know, a heavy damage hitter, but at the same time, I think this army is going to have a lot of synergy in supporting and buffing different units. This guy could harvest souls and then pass the souls on to different, you know, friendly Nighthaunt units, so he might be more supportive than offensive, but he does look pretty offensive with the size of that huge axe and the sort of look he's been given. A hero that I think will be more supportive is this guy I'm going to call the Keeper of the Keys, which is... I'm not really too sure what to make of him. I think, like I say, he's going to be a supportive unit because I'm sure he can do some damage with those huge locks he's holding, but he looks like he has some sort of hidden unlocked power within him. He passes on to, like I say, friendly Nighthaunt units. That's what I imagine he's going to be like. Yeah, really nice model. And then moving on to the Knight of Shrouds on his skeletal steed. I want to come up with a better name than skeletal steed, as I'm sure he will get one. I do not know, like I say, the Knight of Shrouds, don't know if that's going to be a named character. It could be, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, so there were just some photos I just got quickly sent. I just wanted to like add them onto the end of this video for you guys. I appreciate this is quite a quick video and it's very much sort of just off the cuff, but that's because I wanted it to be. These are my first impressions of the first time, just like literally looking at these photos, just, you know, sort of like about 1 o'clock today UK time. All these new photos of, you know, like Nighthaunt and the video, and I was like, oh, I just really want to do a video of my own, try and get this information out to you guys, and you know, just in case you haven't seen it, but if you have seen it, it's just to try and get a bit of discussion going, and try and just share my excitement for them, really. So again, this is probably what, about like a fifth of the news coming out about Age of Sigmar at the moment, or a quarter, whatever you want to say, what percentage. But I wanted to get the Nighthaunt stuff out first. This is Age Nagash. This is a dev channel, and I always just want to show that to you guys. I will hopefully get some other videos done over the next few weeks, talking about the other new changes coming to Age of Sigmar, and then, you know, a video on the new releases for the Stormcast. I mean, if you know anyone who's a Stormcast player, if you've got a friend or anything like that, what I want you to do, I want you to meet up with him, you know, go over to their house, give me, you know, like a big hug, you know, just so they can have a sigh of relief that they thought that they weren't going to get any new models. I mean, they really do need some new models, so thank God there is a new chamber release for them. But, you know, joking aside, I saw the video for the new Stormcast chamber, and yeah, to be fair, it did make me laugh quite a few times. So because of that alone, yeah, they can have a new chamber, and it gives their Lord Ordinator something to do in the Stormcast army. And they got wizards now as well. So like I said, I'll try and go more in depth on that in a video of their own. But looks like they're going to have all the tools now, and not many negatives, which yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but again, new models is new models for Age of Sigmar, and it looks like there's going to be a whole new thing with all the spell laws. Is there actually, if someone casts a spell, it looks like it's actually going to be not just an effect, but that spell is actually going to be a model on the table, and it's going to go around damaging everything, or go around buffing everything. Lots of different bits and bobs. You can't shoot out of combat anymore, which is going to change the game massively. So yeah, that's going to be huge. No more Skyfires charging into things, you know, shooting things, charging into them, attacking them in the combat phase, and then if they have the next turn, shooting them in the shooting phase, and then attacking them in the combat. You know, none of that sort of thing, which to me makes a lot of sense, because if you're, you know, I don't know, if I'm a long strike crossbowman for, you know, the Stormcast, I don't see how I'm going to be fucking, you know, like perfect on my aim trying to snipe out an enemy character, you know, like a mile away, when there's a zombie dragon, you know, like literally trying to bite my, you know, I was going to say bite my head off, but, you know, like literally ripping you into pieces. I don't see how that could happen. So I'm glad they've taken it out. It's going to change the game massively. Sure, some people aren't going to be happy about it, but as I don't have any shooting armies at all, I don't have a problem. I'm more than happy to not be shot at all the time and have all my characters sniped out, especially in a fleshy core army, and lose all my energy and my army just fall apart within the first couple of turns. Talking from personal experience there. And then bringing it back to Nighthaunt, yeah, I'll be doing a Nighthaunt army, not gonna lie. I thought this could happen. I knew there was going to be some sort of new Nighthaunt release coming out since they teased that Black Coach model. And yeah, you know, my wallet's going to pay heavily for this, and like I say, don't really have much time at the moment with the hobby, but I'll find a way, and Nighthaunt isn't going to be the longest thing to paint in the world, so that'll be quite manageable. I know I did literally just do a video a week ago talking about how I'm starting to set up an army, and yeah, not gonna lie, that might go on hold for a little bit, but I've talked to you guys before just how quickly I change my, like, the ideal what sort of army I want to do, and even seeing this Nighthaunt stuff, I still want to do a Seraphon army. I still would like to do that army. I'm just going to have to do a Nighthaunt army as well, and as I've got like over 10,000 points of death, the Nighthaunt is just going to be part of the Death army, so I'm just going to have Death and Seraphon. So it's definitely doable. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So yeah, been rambling a little bit too long at the end here, but I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts and just sort of talk about everything just really quickly, like sort of a summary. And finally, that's it. So like I say, I'm going to do more in-depth videos as the weeks go on, and this in general is really good news, as Age of Sigmar has had a lot of love recently. There was rumours of, you know, a second edition of Age of Sigmar coming out in June, and, you know, well done to those people, because they were absolutely correct, and yeah, bang on right with their money on that one. There is a new edition coming, but apart from that rumour, and, you know, the rumour I had of, you know, this new Age of Sigmar box set coming out with Death in it, there could have been the chance that Age of Sigmar love was going to die down for a little bit and it was going to go back to 40k. I don't know too much about 40k. They might have had something similar to Age of Sigmar here. They might be getting a bunch of new stuff, but it's nice to see that Age of Sigmar is getting more and more love, and things are just really just beginning. When we got the Nurgle release, the Legions of Nagash, the Daughters of Cain, and the Internet Deacon. There's so much more stuff coming out, which is, like I keep on saying, is fantastic. So again, guys, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like, subscribe and comment down below, as again that does help me all the time. And please, when you put a comment down below, let me know how excited you are, you know, about Nighthaunt. Let me know if you don't like the models. Let me know, you know, if you do like them, if you're going to do the army, how much your wallet's going to hurt about this, because, you know, my one, it was just recovering after some recent purchases and stuff. Now it's going to have to make another sacrifice, because I personally really like these Nighthaunt models. I think they've been quite original. There's a few sort of the ghost models look a little bit like typical, but there's only so much they can do about that. I generally overall really like them. And like I say, please let me know your thoughts on them, and if you're going to do the army, what models you like the most. What is the next topic you would like me to talk about in the news we've just got? You know, if it's about the Stormcast, if it's about the magic, if it's about the rule changes, you know, what I think they are going to be and what they've already told us, and also what they keep on going on about when they talk about there's going to be lots of maps coming out. That will be quite exciting to look at, and especially how they are going to expand the narrative. That's something that we really need and have done a little bit on that quite lately. He's fair play on them quite a bit, but it's a more expansion on the lore for me is something I'd really like to see. So again, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on them, and hopefully get some discussion going. I know you guys have left me some comments in the last few days. I've just been absolutely smashed out at work, so haven't had a chance to reply. I'm going to try and do a bit of that sort of stuff this weekend, get back to you guys. And yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. The Age of Nagash is upon us with all of this new releases for Death. It's absolutely fantastic. So remember, guys, Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.